Alright, guys, so this is the PF Music Podcast. This is your host, Pablo Ruiz Vargas. This is episode 117. In this PF Music Podcast, I'm going to really appreciate it. If you're listening to the podcast on YouTube, Encore, not YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute, make sure you subscribe. Oh, I'm just a little tipsy right now. Sorry for that. And if you're listening to the podcast in the Anchor.fm, make sure that you share with your friends and your family. I'm gonna really appreciate it. With this, we're gonna start the episode 117, which is love by truth and not emotions. Simple as that. Love by truth and not emotion. So let's define what is love, right? What is that? What is that thing? Alright, what is that thing that people just throw around like it's just not nothing, right? Things has a definition, okay? Things does not come from nowhere. Love is so basically love is a set of emotions and behavior characterized by intimacy, passion, and commitment, and involves care, closeness, and protectiveness, attractions, affection, and trust. Love can vary in intensity and can change over time. Okay, that's love, right? Love is basically an emotion that does intrigue some attachment, whether that's things, it can be humans, it can be pets, it can be a lot of things where attachment is just derived and it could be affected by it. And you're into a relationship, okay, of course, you have what we call the attraction phase and the affection phase, okay? So those things really is recognized as love, right? Now, what is truth, right? What is that thing? And how do you eat it? Truth. Okay, so truth is the property of basically according to fact and reality. And truth is typically ascribed to things that aim to represent reality, otherwise correspond to it, such as belief, proportions, and so on and so forth. Truth is usually held to be the opposite of falsehood, right? So basically, truth is just reality. Truth is basically facts, right? The statement of something that is true, completely acceptable by reality and evidence. Okay. Now, what is love by truth and not emotions? Do we need to define emotion? Okay, let's do it. Let's just define what is emotions. Emotions are biologically based on psychological states brought by physiological changes, varies associated with thoughts, feelings, behaviors, responses, and other things, right? And it's basically it's a complex state of feeling that result of physical and psychological changes, and also it can distort personality and mood and behaviors as motivations. Okay, so emotions are basically when you feel your state feels up and down, left and right. Today you feel motivated to do it, tomorrow you don't feel motivated. All those things, right? Those are emotions. I'm mad today, tomorrow I'm happy, or then after happy I'm mad again, right? All those things. So now, what it means to love by truth and not emotions? Let me give you a couple of examples. And what do I mean by that? What do I mean loving and truth and emotion, all that stuff? What do I mean by love the truth? What are they? Love by truth and not emotions. When you love people by emotions, and you bring in all those characteristics that are basically physical. They are characteristics that create attachment, dependency, and of course, when you are developing these kind of behaviors, Your ability to be conscious and logical go right down the gutter. Huh? That means that your logical stance to any decisions are non-existent. In that moment, of course. In that moment. We see a lot of people, we hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, we love people. I love you. I love you the way you are." All that stuff, right? They're not saying that they really love you. They're just saying that they're attracted, they're afraid, they don't want to lose you because they're attached. Right? Now, in order for them not to lose you, they have to what? They have to lie to you. They have to figure out ways where they're gonna try their best to keep the peace in order for the relationship to keep going, and of course, create an environment that is based on lies. We know how that ends. Next one is the truth. Loving by truth. Loving by truth is that you always gonna head your relationships with a structure of your reality. That means that even if telling the truth or telling facts is gonna hurt people, you're gonna go with it. If telling you the truth to your partner is gonna hurt her, you're gonna go with it, right? If telling your family that you're not gonna go do this and that because this and that because there's facts on that and they're toxic facts to them, you're gonna go with it. If you're telling people I'm not gonna hang out with you because you do provide bad behavior, I'm gonna go with it. That is loving by truth. Telling facts that are simply statements of truthness. To just always provide what you really see in and feel in the moment. Now, let's take the entire sentence. Love by truth and not emotion. What does that mean in reality? What does that mean? Let's just sit down a little bit and let it sink in. Love by truth and not emotion. Well, it could be two things. It could be that you know the truth and you don't want to say it because you don't want to hurt nobody. Or you hurt people and then you feel emotionally guilty about it. Okay? Either or. But when I describe the statement, love by truth and emotion, means that you have to decide in life whether you please people because you are afraid to hurt them or you just get hurt. Let me explain. Getting hurt, right? I mean, you're gonna please everybody, right? And you're gonna just create attachments and individuals because you're afraid to lose them. So you're gonna start lying. You can start pretending someone that you're not. Loving by truth is either way, either or that person will stay there or it's not gonna stay there. You're still gonna leave. You're gonna still tell them the truth. If leaving is an option, you will go with it. That's why when you have mom and pop, right? Mom is the emotional one. Mom is always making emotional decisions, and pop is the other one making logical decisions. If pop start making emotional decisions and mom start making logical decisions, we call that opposite poles. So when you have opposite pole, you create an internal chaos, right? Because one is doing the role of the other one, right? Now things just start going crazy. So lies start popping up. Bad logical decisions start being practical. All those things start popping up, right? Because poles are inverted. And that's why in the beginning of the relationship there was not discussed what was the base or the rule of a relationship. and they shows love, an emotional love. Pues is what we call the honeymoon, what we call the rose period, the pink period, whatever. Instead of dealing with the situation right then and there, they procrastinated for months to come. So what happened with that? Oh, of course, that brought a lot of problems. Problems how? Problems that later on were harder to deal with. It's like traumas. When you have traumas in the beginning, right? Even mama will tell you, hey, everything's okay, everything is good and nothing wrong with you. In reality, instead of telling you, you know what, let's figure out what we need to work on to just get to those trauma. Because what happens is when you don't tell the truth to people, right? Later on in life, all these things start manifesting very bad, like bad, right? And it's so bad that it can affect the way you interact with people, even interact with your new partner. That's because you make the selection to just love with emotion instead of loving with truth. I'm not a scientist, and I'm not a professional in this, but when problems were like this are not handled in the beginning, right, it later becomes worse. That's why family don't talk about this. That's why partner don't want to deal with it later. That's why we have a lot of guys that are very simpy, weak. They cannot hold themselves to higher standard. They don't know what is to tell the truth. They see a red flag with a partner, they don't know how to tell them or correct them. They can't do it because they haven't just looked themselves in the mirror and fixed what needs to be fixed. Okay, this all goes back into a circle. Oh, a circle that, of course, it does take a token, but of course, right, need to be said. Make sure that you're loving with truth and not in emotions. This episode was a little bit shorter. I need to just go to bed. Tomorrow I have to work. But I really appreciate you guys to listen to the podcast. This was episode 117. Congratulations to my brother. He has a new daughter. I'm very, very happy. Everything went very well. Wishing the best for his wife to just recover and get the family back together in their house. And make sure that you subscribe to YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. Listen to the podcast in Anchor.fm. Make sure that you support the channel. I'm gonna really appreciate it. With this, guys, episode 117 for the P Alpha Music Podcast. Love by truth and not emotions. I'm out.